There we go. Ready to get started. Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Happy 1st of July. Who's excited for a brand new month? I really am. I'm so excited for the 1st of July. And also the fact that it's the second half of 2023. Last 6 months of the year, it feels like a brand new chapter. I'm so excited. I hope you guys are too. I thought it'd be really nice if we get started by dropping in the comments your goals for the next 6 months. Where do you want to be at the end of this year? What do you want to achieve by December of this year? So let's get started with some great energy, setting some goals of what we want to achieve for the next 6 months. So really excited to be hosting the first half of the success training this morning. One of my favorite calls of the month, if not the favorite. NMD, love that, Wendy, amazing. So the theme of this morning's call is make it happen. And who's ready to make it happen for the next 6 months? Because I certainly am ready to go full steam ahead and see some incredible results by the end of this year. So we have got some amazing speakers coming up this morning. I hope you've all got your pens and papers ready. These calls are so informative, but also a great way to get some top tips to start the new month and implement some new things into your business. So we're going to get kick-started right away with our amazing Sue Worrell. Sue is a nutritionist for over 30 years, running clinics in Cardiff and London. And she has also been taking Juice Plus for almost 17 years, which is why she looks so incredible. And she's going to be talking to us this morning about our star products.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. I shall share my screen. And it's not 17 years, it is over 22 now. So yeah, over 22 years, not just 17. So I'm just going to quickly tell you a little bit about my background. I got into Juice Plus because I was born with a huge hole in my heart. I had to be patched, it couldn't just be sewn up. Realized health was important in my 20s. Had a child with cystic fibrosis who sadly died when he was 10. So I spent a lot of time in hospitals and with medics. So when I found Juice Plus, I thought it was too good to be true. I'd already started on the path to becoming a nutritionist. And I was introduced to Juice Plus by a vet, an amazing lady. And I didn't really look at the business. I was a bit at my own bottom about it's all being science and nutrition. But I took it myself. And then a couple of years went by and I started to share it and loved every minute of it, loved every minute of the journey. And I'm extremely well. I've had a bit of a setback lately, out running. I'm in my 75th year, or 76th year, really. And I was running most days, jogging. I'm not a runner. And I put my foot on a pothole and had a really nasty fall. I did half the circuit after it and staggered home. But I tore a disc, I split a disc, and I bulged a disc. So I couldn't walk for 5 or 6 weeks. But all the time I was not unwell, and I never stopped taking Juice Plus. In fact, it was my lifesaver, and the uplift was amazing, keeping my spirits up as well. And it's only about a month really that I'm really properly back on my feet and trying to get back my fitness back and everything else. But don't be afraid to approach anyone who's not well with Juice Plus, because it's food, it's not a medication, and 99.9% of people who've got illnesses can take it. So I'm really active. I love the whole thing about health, about mindful health, about your mind and your body being one thing, and about exercise. So that's why I love the Juice Plus product. And at this time in where we are now, we've got more sick people than ever since COVID, more mentally sick people and more physically sick people. We've also got a lot of depression around and in industries falling apart, etc. And we've got a lot of pollution. So everywhere, it's news all the time about how much sick there is and how much of a crisis we are in the world. Juice Plus has never been needed more. These are just some of the chemicals that are in our body and affect us every single day. And the world's now also full of ultra-processed foods. In America, we know they've always been keener on ultra-processed foods than us, but we don't need to start looking at them because we are nearly there as well. And now 20% of our population eat 80% ultra-processed foods. Our body doesn't recognize it as food. And we're missing out on those amazing fruits and vegetables. So we wouldn't put rubbish fuel in our car, and we wouldn't expect our car to run on it. If we force a diet, we have all the toxins left. If we clean our body up and take good nutrients and do all the things the Juice Plus company recommend us to do, exercise, sleep, manage our stress, eat real food, drink water, and keep safe. And if we do all that, Juice Plus is an amazing foundation. I love the product and I will never stop taking it. So this is boring. Everybody keeps saying we need 5 a day, we need 5 a day. There's a new study, a recent study, a huge study, which proves we need more than 5 a day. 5 a day is not enough. And if we're struggling to have 5 a day, how are we going to eat at least 10 a day is what they're recommending. I've always recommended 10 or more. We know what's in our fruits and vegetables prevents all these diseases. And what we know what is good for us is nature's foundation for living well. So why are we still not eating more 5 a day at least? And we're not. In the UK, I think it's 2.8 we eat. And how can we get it up to 10 or 7 to 13 or 10 to 20 or 19 in Japan? How can we get it up to all these servings? And Juice Plus is the answer. It is the foundation that we put in there that makes us better at eating everything every day and getting the rest in. We need food from Nature's Pharmacy with an F, run by farmers with an F, not pharmacies with a PH, and the big pharma. We need real food. And that's why I love Juice Plus so much. It is real food that is gently juice dried, and all the pips and the goodness is kept in them and preserved. And the powders in there are amazing. And it is filled with these powders. It doesn't have a tiny amount. It is full of these powders. The only additives they put in is the ones to make it evenly spread of all the different mixtures and to keep the powder safe. We've got a fantastic capsule coating that not many other people have. And all these things cost more money. It makes Juice Plus isn't cheap, but it's not far from expensive. You can get much more expensive capsules and supplements that are not as good as Juice Plus. So you just be confident with your Juice Plus and what's in them. Our capsule is made from fermented tapioca. It actually provides a better oxygen barrier than the old gelatin pharmaceutical quality capsule we used to use. We've got the science. I love the science, and that's why I was slow to take it up. But don't be afraid to approach nutritionists. My team is full of nutritionists, and they're very often like me and a bit standoffish to start, but they soon get themselves into when they realize how good it is. This is Dr. Manfred Lamfreck, who runs the Graz University Research Unit. He now is a bridge between Juice Plus science, the science, and how we tell everybody else about the science. He does some amazing videos. Go look them up. We know this has been out in the press for years, that the highest polyphenols, which are in our berries, full of polyphenols, are really important, and they're associated with 30% reduction in mortality and death rate. That's 30%. That is huge, just by fruits and vegetables. So we know we've got them in the capsules. We know that all these studies are saying we've got them. They all produce and show different markers of why it's true that it does make a difference. And you can look them all up. And the latest research has been on the microbiome, on cardiovascular health, which I'm always keen on, and the effects of health costs on the whole world, and cognitive function in students. That's brain health, and that's where our omegas come in, especially combined with the capsules. So many people talk about how good they are. We've got quality products, they say. Our products are high quality, but they need to be tested and shown. And ours are actually tested and shown and stamped with the 2 stamps of quality. And the informed choice stamp, we didn't have that when I was dealing with sports guys, high-end sports people. And they were always asking, does it have this standard stamp? But we do now, so brilliant for any sports people. If you don't know about the Children's Health Study Programme, do go and look it up. Ask the person who brought you in to tell you all about it, because it is amazing for children. So these are all the features of our product. But what we want to get over to people is the benefits of our product. So what are the benefits to people? When people talk about sales and talk about persuading people, it's about the benefits. So we know that it should be minimum of 5 a day, and we now know it should be more. The world is still, everywhere in the world, they're still looking at the antioxidant power in fruits and vegetables and how they can sell it on and how they can make something from it, but also what it does scientifically for the body. We've got them all. We've got millions of antioxidants in our products. And that's the one thing, is the great benefit to your body is you can get all the antioxidants in via Juice Plus. We absorb them and we use them. We don't pee them out in our wee when we go to the toilet because they can't be absorbed. They are absorbed and used. The other benefit is that how can you get this extra in our busy lives if you're having to go out and buy and keep fresh all the fruits and vegetables? It's just the best thing. It bridges that gap between what we should be eating and what we actually do manage to eat. So it's brilliant at bridging the gap. It's convenient. You take it in a few seconds. You can carry it around with you. There's no reason why you can't miss it, because it's on a daily basis, every single day, that our cells get hit by free radicals and can change our cells and give us cancers. So it's every single day we need this nutrition, and Juice Plus is the way to really bridge that gap and give us that amazing foundation. And all the good things and the research and the care that company takes to build our fantastic capsules goes into the complete range as well. So you know how versatile this is. Most of you post a lot about this and say a lot about it. It is brilliant. And the soup, don't disregard the soups. The soups are fantastic to use in casseroles as thickeners. They've got lots of fiber in them. And don't worry about the soy or the sugars in the complete range. I haven't looked at the actual ingredients of the new ones, but I'm sure they're just the same. I will get around to really having a deep look at what's in the new flavors. But they are oligosaccharides. There are other types of saccharides as well, but this is one of the ones that's most known. And this makes a difference because we need these for our energy. We need this for our bodily functions, many of our functions and our building cells. We need these. So the sugars in them are not bad for you. They have a huge amount of fiber that offsets it. And they are complete is a brilliant macronutrient for us to add into our everyday life. You can look up the facts. Go on, if you haven't gone on to your product details, go on all your product details and you can see these little details and you can add that when you talk to people about it. Our bars are exactly the same. They're great. They're full of fiber. They keep you full for longer. They're great for sports people like golfers to keep in their bag. Any sports that take a long time to play, they're great for that. So they are fantastic. I don't use these very much. They're great for people who have got a lot of weight to lose. People think it's a pineapple. That's not. It's glucomannan, which is a huge fibrous root. I've grown a lot in Japan, and it's what's in no-calorie noodles. And we need more fiber. Our diets are short in fiber, and this is a brilliant fiber that helps us keep fuller longer. And it also is really good for lowering our cholesterol. And it's got green tea and oat oil. So green tea is a little pick-me-up without being processed into caffeine for some of the coffees, which are highly processed. So it's a good product to have along with the others. Sorry, I haven't got the new picture of the new omegas on here. But the omegas, I've always loved them, absolutely love them. And I love the new ones even more. You can look up how much EPA and DHA and ALA there is in them, and there is plenty. I take 3 or 4 a day now as I'm older. And the features are that it's got schizoquitrum, which is what the fish eat to get their omega-3. So we don't disrupt the oceans, we don't deplete our fish stocks, and it is a brilliant pure source of omega-3. And it's much better for our oceans and our pollution. So it's got amazing features. But the benefits to us are that it helps our brain, our eyes, and our heart. function, and it's really good for joints, etc. And it now has added vitamin D, which is really important, zinc, which contributes to normal DNA synthesis, which is very, very important. Lutein, which is another nutrient, and lycopene, which is another one you get from fruit. It's very, very good. It's a carotenoid, and it's very good from fruits and vegetables, and we've added that little bit more. So you can look that up, and it just tells you there what the different things it does for brain function and why they're all important. So you can look them up yourselves. Uplift, love it, absolutely love it. Have one every single day, 2 on a busy day. And for women particularly, we need all the B vitamins. Doesn't have B12 that you find in meat and some cereals, but it does have all the other B vitamins, really important for us. You can look up all the B vitamins and what they do. You can post on each one each day. It makes a great post for you when you're trying to promote Juice Plus. I'm not going to read them all out, but it is really great because it gives you that all long stretched energy. It doesn't give you that buzz that coffee does. And it's got lemon peel and lovely guava and other fruits that we don't get so often, and so they supply us with those very, very important B vitamins. I wasn't keen on the cherry taste, and some people aren't. I had a great tip from Sara one day, and she told me to add a bit of cranberry juice, and that's what I do, and it's just delicious. You can also make it in mocktails. Makes a lovely mocktail. Another reason why I love the Juice Plus company is that it promotes all the other aspects of health, like I mentioned, sleep and mindfulness, but also exercise. And now in the recent years, they've brought out Perform. I've experimented quite a lot lately with how to use Perform combined, which is, it's got a different kind of, it's higher protein, and how I manage that to combine that with the complete range. And I've had some brilliant results. It's a really, really good product. And this also has some extra vitamins in it as well. And the protein in it is soy protein. But don't worry about that, because there's people moan about soy and say, I won't do anything with soy in it. The soy, there are 2 kinds of different animal altogether with soy. The kind of soy that's cheap and easily available is not cold water washed. It doesn't have the protein cleansed on it. And Juice Plus grow it pristinely. It's not genetically modified. It's cold water washed properly, and the protein is cleaned on it as well. So it is a completely safe protein to use, and one of the ones we can really absorb and utilize, and great for women's health as well. So look that up, and if you're looking and working with any sports people, this is the different things they want. If you look at this slide, you've got this presentation. If you look at this slide, it ticks all the things that are important, and Perform ticks every single box. So that's just about all. I think I've covered everything as quick as I possibly can. I've got a resource called Health Hub Academy. It's for practitioners, but anyone in Juice Plus company can go and join the free membership. We've been building it over the last 2 years, and we're just starting to take off properly. So feel free to join if anybody wants to join. Thank you very much.
Amazing, Sue. Thank you so much. Absolutely incredible as always. I always learn something new about the products every single time that you speak. So thank you very much. And the Health Hub Academy sounds amazing too. I'm going to pop you a message after the call. So thank you. Please pop your top takeaways from Sue's presentation in the comments. I particularly loved all of the women's health benefits from the uplifts and even the Perform as well. So I'm going to go and get those down me after the call. So we are going to move on to our second speaker of the day. I am very, very, very excited about this one. We have got our amazing Natalie Louise Winter. She's been doing absolutely incredible. So I'm so proud and excited that she is here on the call today. So Natalie joined the business in 2016 as a fed up new graduate and a new mum. She joined for an extra income alongside her other job and her son. She built her business up to SSC level during lockdown, and until recently was treating the business as a hobby and loved the social aspect side of it, especially outside of home life. But she recently decided to rebuild her business after attending the Liverpool on Fire event in January and started taking the business seriously. She started a 90-day game plan in February, and she's done incredible. And since then, she's ticked off some huge, huge goals. So she's been on the company leaderboards for team building. She has grown her pay line by £6,000. She has rebuilt her PB legs. She spoke on stage in Birmingham. She's qualified for stage 1 of Rio, and she's helped so many other people achieve their goals in the business. Like, that list is just crazy, isn't it, when you hear it like that in such a short space of time. She is now on a mission to hit National Marketing Director, to get her seat on that plane to Rio, and taking as many people with her as she can. There's not a doubt in my mind you're going to be smashing that goal, Natalie. And that's going to be talking to us today about her daily focus to make a fortune.
Thank you so much, Sarah. That was such a gorgeous introduction. So hello, everybody. I'm going to start by just going into a little bit more of where my mindset and business was at compared to now. So just to give you an idea, like Sarah said, I flew to SSC in lockdown, which I know so many of us had great success during that time. But after that, for me, everything just really dropped. And honestly, I just wasn't doing what I should have been doing, basically. At this time, I had a really turbulent home life. I was in a really bad relationship, and I was just using this business, I suppose, as a bit of an escape from that. It was something really positive, something I enjoyed, and it was great to have that social side outside of the life I was living back home. So I got out of that terrible situation. And what I did after that was I really started to rebuild my life. And what that meant for me at the time was getting on a massive health and fitness journey, which obviously I used the products for. And I lost 2.5 stone doing this, and just documented that across my social media, which, you know, kept my business ticking over. I'd get the odd customer, but I was still not really taking it seriously. And I definitely was not working on my mindset. And it just kind of went on like this for a little while. I wasn't recruiting, I wasn't hitting my PB, but I was still here. And then this was like the really big change for me. At the beginning of the year, I lost my granddad, and he was the biggest influence in my life. He was my guidance, just my everything. And that really flipped my, you know, my life upside down. I had to find this newfound independence. I felt like, you know, I've got to step up now and look after my family. And I went to the Liverpool on Fire event, and I just felt, you know, desperate. I wanted change. I needed answers. And I think it was the first time I ever went to an event with the intention of, I'm going to come here today and I'm going to listen and I'm going to learn. And I've never really done that before. I was always there for the fun. And I know they say sometimes, you know, in life things come and they might break your heart, but they will clear your vision. And I feel like that is exactly what this time in my life has done for me. So I went to that event feeling, you know, so desperate. But when I came away from it, I had my light bulb moment. I was inspired. I was ready to get to work. And that's when I got back and really, really made that decision to just go for it and jump straight on a 90-day game plan. So the past 5 months, I've had a lot of challenges. You know, we've had more bereavement in the family. I've had personal issues, but because now I've built up that vision that is so strong in my mind, my self-belief is so unshakable. Nothing has ever stopped me from working on my business every single day. Like Sara will tell you, you know, I've said this, that, and the other's going on. Then I'm like, right, okay, and I'm going to do my DMO because I know where I'm going. And it's, you know, that self-belief is so important. So I'm going to talk to you today about how I've developed that and just some of the daily practices that I do to build my business alongside working on myself, because the two go hand in hand. I found, as you know, I developed as a person, I found it so much easier to build my business and work on that too. So the top of my DMO is massively you know, mindset and self-development. So I'll talk to you about that. And gratitude for me is always top of the list. There's always something to be grateful for every single day. And I think the more things you can find to be grateful for, the more opportunities seem to come your way, because you're always looking for the positive. And affirmations, you know, for me, sometimes I say them out loud, sometimes I write them down, but I do this every single day. So this is, you know, I am, I have. So for example, mine change on a day-to-day basis depending on how I'm feeling and what I need. So it could be things like I am confident, I am a good leader. A couple of the things that I was writing on there was, you know, I am speaking on stage. I would write that every single day. So then when I got the call to speak on stage in Birmingham, I was like, wow, this is really working. So, I'm doing that every single day. Reading, listening to podcasts, audiobooks. Everyone has the time to do that. Everyone. If you don't feel like you've got the time to read, you can listen to a podcast while you're washing the pots, you're going to sleep at night, put an audiobook on while you're driving in the car. It's so easy to fit that in. And it's just, feeding your mind constantly with this positive media is really important. Another thing that I introduced as well as part of my 90-day game plan was a vision board. Now, I'll be honest, I did not have a vision board before now. And I was massively missing out. So I love my vision board. I've ticked off so many things on there already. And I just love it. Even on the days that I think, oh, I'm not really feeling like it today, I will just look at that and I'll be like, Natalie, if you do not do your DMO today, if you do not get on this, you are not going to achieve all of those things. So the vision board for me has been a really big tool to keep that daily focus. And this one I absolutely love. Sara actually recommended that I do this at the beginning of the year, and this was writing a letter to your future self. This has got me through some really, really tough times, and it helps me so much to focus. So you write this letter to yourself. So it could be, in a year's time, for example, and you're just writing it as though you've already achieved all those goals that you have in mind. So, for example, it could be things like you have so much peace in your life, you're really excited every day to get up and work. Congratulations, you're going to Rio, you're taking all your girls with you, and when you're feeling a bit down and disheartened, just read that letter and think, this is going to be my future, and that will really help to reinforce that vision. And you can rewrite it as many times as you need to as your vision changes, which it will as you progress through the business. But that is such an amazing tool, and I absolutely love that. Another thing I implemented was, really tracking my goals and getting organised. Now, I'm not really the most organised person, but I am trying to change that. And just knowing when the events are, when the Zoom calls are, setting yourself a little schedule is really important, so you know where you're heading. And I like to work towards events, which I will talk a little bit about soon, but I just think that's really important to know your weekly schedule. Excuse me. So the next thing I've got on there is, working out, walking, getting fresh air, taking time to reflect. So for me, I love the gym. I go like 5 times a week when the kids are at school. On the days I'm not at the gym, I will make sure I get out and walking. We're doing some form of physical exercise. I think it's really important to get your body moving. Whatever that looks like for you, just find something that you enjoy. I think that's the most important thing, is finding something you enjoy and a way to do it. And then you'll find it so much easier to stick to. And then the last thing I have on here for self-development is journaling. Now, I never did this either until recently, and this again massively got me through some really tough times. So I suffered really badly with like high anxiety, and through my anxiety I found I was like hyper fixating on certain things, and it was always the wrong things. It was never my business, it was never my health, it was never my mindset. So journaling for me just really got me out of that habit. So I would write down things like, what is genuinely really important to me in the grand scheme of things, what is important. Those things that I was worrying about, not once did they ever make the list. So that taught me, let it go, forget about it, let's focus on these things. Some other things I like to journal is, just my goals, my vision for the future. And I think this one is really important as well. And I would write down things that I love about myself. And sometimes you've got to dig deep with that if you're not really feeling it on those days. But self-belief is so, so important in this business, because I think if you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect your customers to believe in you, and for your team members to believe in you, and then for you to believe in other people too? It always comes back to that self-belief. So self-development is top of the list on my DMO. So here are some of the other things that I make sure I tick off every single day, and these were all part of my 90-day game plan. So the next thing I've got on here is showing the products, results, making sure I'm talking on my stories about them. I will have that across all my platforms. So I'm currently on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and I really like to duplicate my content. So every single day I'll show that I'm taking the products and I'm using the products. I'm not just taking them, I'm using them to achieve a health goal, and I'm blogging that health journey. So at the minute I've been on a big like muscle building journey, getting to grips with the gym and building my confidence in there. So I talk a lot about that. And I love to share other people's results as well, because other people are achieving things that I might not want to, but it's really important to show my audience, you know, what we can do with these products. The next thing I have on there is business, recruitment focus, and excitement. I've literally written on my DMO excitement, because I think sometimes we get really like robotic with your DMO, like, okay, I've put recruitment post up, put a product post up, but the excitement behind it and the intention behind it is what's really important. Otherwise, you might as well not do it at all. And that's genuinely how I feel. So there's so much to be excited about in this business at the minute. You know, Rio is a massive thing. They've just announced that we're getting double points for certain things. Like, it is all systems go, and there is just so much to share. So make sure you're excited. You know, you can talk on your stories, you can do videos. There's so much you can do to really showcase the business, and, you know, think about why people join as well and show the different aspects of that. The next thing on there I have is I like to send out 100 friends requests on Facebook every single day, and that's probably my main platform at the minute, and I'm building my others on the side, but I will follow everyone on Instagram as well, and the people who have viewed my TikTok profile or they've liked and comment, I will follow them too. So you've got to expand your network daily. Interaction as well is very important to build relationships. So, you know, you're commenting, you're liking, having conversations with people. And, you know, this for me is the most important thing. And it's probably the one thing I introduced that massively changed my business. And it is so simple. It is just inboxing people, getting in the messages. And, you know, this, I never did this ever until this year. And I'm going to be really honest. And I don't know how I built my business to SSC level without doing it, because it is a major part of how I build my business now. But just building those relationships and making sure you're not just chit-chatting, you are going to offer them the business opportunity or talk to them about the product line, because otherwise, you know, you're just chatting, you're not getting anywhere. You've got to be bold and be brave and confident with introducing the business opportunity and the products to people. So get in your inboxes, set yourself a daily, you know, number of how many people you want to speak to, and really stick with it. The next thing I have on here is personal posts. I think it's very important not to be a Juice Plus robot. You know, if I find something funny, I'll post it on there. I'll ask questions. I'll show my mum life, and that makes you relatable to people. People will then, you know, feel like they know you, they like you, and they trust you, which we talk about so often. So make sure you're putting your personal stuff in there as well, and just enjoying, you know, blogging your life on social media. The next thing I have on here is contribution. Now, you know, that could be interpreted in different ways, but for me, that is contributing to my team, to my customers, to the groups that I'm in. And I think it's really important to be giving back and adding value. So however you know, perceive that to be, contribution is like an act of service, I see it as, and I think that's really important. And the next thing is video content, live videos, TikToks, Reels, you know, get that video content out there. I think it's a huge thing on social media now. I've been growing my TikTok since we came back from Birmingham, and I'm absolutely loving it. You know, I've sent out lots of links for the business opportunity through that. I've had orders through there. Like, that's really growing. I think it's a platform that we should all really try and start to build for the future. But I make sure, you know, I'm doing my live videos, I'm talking on my stories, and I've got some form of video content across all my platforms every single day. And it just brings your social media to life. Like, people can see you, how you talk, your personality comes across. It's just a really great way to, you know, showcase everything. And following up. Now, do not let anyone slip through the net, because I have let this happen in the past and I won't let it happen anymore. Anyone I've spoken to about products or business, whether I've approached them, they've approached me, I will write their name down and I will follow up regularly until I get a really good yes and they sign up, or I get an absolutely not stop messaging me. I'm only joking. But, you know, you want a really good yes or a really good no. I think that's very important. And the last thing I have on my DMO is to really utilise the opportunity groups. So I like to add lots of people in there every single day. And if people accept, that is then giving me a new pathway again to inbox and start that conversation. You know, hi, hon, you're in my opportunity group. Do you like what you've seen? Have you had a chance to look through? It's just giving you another reason to inbox people. And it's a great way as well for people to see you know, the success stories and different people's points of view on the business. They might not resonate with one person as much as the other, so it's really good for them to see a widespread view of the team. And something else that I've, you know, really focused on this year, and that's helped me, is building that offline culture and attending events. So I think it's really, really important. Like I said, I had my light bulb moment in Liverpool. If I never went to that event, you know, who knows, I might not have ever been here where I am today. So it's really important to get to that event. You never know how much you're going to need it. You know, we went to Reading recently, and I was having a really bad week personally, and everyone around me was saying, you know, you shouldn't go, it's too much. But I knew that I really needed this event, and I didn't listen. I stuck with my gut instinct and I went. And, you know, the people who were there will tell you, before that event even started, I was absolutely buzzing. I was ready to get to work, and I hadn't even, you know, it hadn't even begun. Just the atmosphere, the conversations in the room. So 1,000,000% get yourself to events. I will be at as many as I can this year. And that's how I've really managed to keep that fire burning, to rebuild my business. And, you know, I've not let anything in these past 5 months stop me. And it's just kept me so excited for the future. So get yourself to events, 1,000,000%. Me and Emma are actually heading straight off to an event after this call. We're traveling to Durham. So, you know, just get yourself there. There's really no excuses. They're all over the UK. You will definitely find one close to you. And if you can't get to one, there's lots of online events as well. So that's just, you know, everything that I've really done to rebuild. Yeah, thank you.
Amazing. If you were not sat there taking crazy notes whilst Natalie was speaking, then you are crazy, because Natalie has literally just given you there an incredible blueprint of how she has rebuilt and regrown her business insanely over the past, you know, 6 months. So Nat, just huge well done, and thank you for sharing all of that with us. And pop your top takeaways into the comments. Mine, for me, it was definitely the vision board. I've been really rubbish with that, so I'm really going to work on a new one of those over this weekend. You know, obviously making sure that you're following up. I really love what you said about the recruitment posts, because again, a lot of people can just have that as like a bit of a tick box, but making sure you've got that excitement and that intention behind your recruiting post is so important. Love that, writing a letter to yourself as well, and making sure that you follow up, and then obviously getting to the events. We all know that that is sort of the massive key to the business, getting on the calls and getting to the event. So just full of incredible top tips. You're absolutely amazing, Natalie, and, you know, real testament to just sort of keeping up and getting going no matter what's going on. I can definitely vouch for that. No matter that she's a machine, no matter what's going on around her, Nat gets up and she gets it done. So yeah, round of applause to Natalie. And Nat, you've got a special guest speaker, haven't you? Do you want to welcome her?
Yeah, I have. So I'm going to introduce my team member, Emma. She's amazing. Her passion for the products and business is so infectious. I think she's going to do really well. She went Partner Plus within a few weeks of joining, and like I said, we're going to the event together soon. So I won't tell you too much. I will let Emma do that. So Emma, if you just want to unmute yourself, babe, and tell us a bit about your journey so far.
Hi everyone. Thanks, Natalie. Loved your chat there. Totally inspiring as usual. I've made loads of notes. But yeah, I'm happy to chat a bit about where I've started. A few months ago, maybe a bit more, Natalie added me on Facebook. I was watching what she was doing, and I was thinking, wow, she's living her best life. She's amazing. She seems like a really nice person as well. Go her, basically. But it was never something I actually thought I could do myself, until she actually contacted me one night on Facebook. And I've been feeling a bit stuck in a rut lately, just with personal issues. But she messaged me and I thought, oh, I could so easily just say no, thank you. But I was like, I didn't want to say that, but I also was still full of all the excuses as well, as Natalie will probably, well, she might not remember because she's got lots of people speaking to her, but you know, I was full of, I work full time, I've got a kid, you know, I don't have a big following on Facebook, I can't do it. And she was like, babe, you've got to do it, you've got to step out of your comfort zone, it'll be the best thing you ever do. And I was like, oh, go on, I'll go for it. I had my own health goals as well. I wanted to lose 2 stone. I was a classic yo-yo dieter. So I thought, even if I just get on the right path with my health goals, because I knew the products that Natalie was selling were premium products and I knew they worked. So, you know, I thought, even if I just do that, I've got nothing to lose. It was £1 to join. But I've loved it. I've absolutely loved it. I got on the shakes. I love them. I got the control and the uplift as well. Just had my uplift. So I'm buzzing this morning, ready for this call and ready for the event that we're going to attend today. But yeah, I've been doing it a little over a month now, and I've lost £10. So I'm happy with that. It's absolutely amazing. I'm chuffed, and I just can't wait to continue with it. Business side of it, I've loved it. It was a slow start, but then I got some sales and I was absolutely over the moon. And I just want to continue to build. Natalie's been so helpful, so supportive. So I can't thank her enough for that. And I just want to go higher and higher in the business, really. So watch this space, hopefully, and also attend events. I'm so excited. I keep pestering Natalie about Glasgow because I'm like, I need to go to Glasgow. I need to go to Glasgow. I'm going, so I just need to book everything. I like everything booked and I like to know everything's in place, but I'm really excited. And obviously we're going to Durham today, so that'll be a nice one as well. So yeah, I think that's everything. But also the vision board thing, Natalie, I do definitely want to do that. So thank you for that. That's a top tip I'm taking away from this chat today.
Amazing, Emma. Thank you so much. I think again, real testament to what an incredible upline Natalie is as well. But £10 in a month, first promotion in the bag, off to your first event today, speaking on this massive Zoom call today. Like, no doubt in our minds that you are just going to absolutely fly through the business. So huge congratulations and thank you for joining today and sharing your top tips with your journey with us. And thank you, Natalie, as well. So we are going to move on to our third speaker of the day. We have got Charity Ayamu. She is a presidential marketing director in the business. She is a mum of 2 girls. She has been in the business for 6 years and she was able to quit her job as a customer service manager exactly 2 years after being in the business. She is a presidential marketing director and she's also currently studying to qualify as a certified health and lifestyle coach. And she will be talking to us today about flying with a 90-day game plan.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for that introduction. I think the bio that you've got was kind of the bio that you had about a few years ago. So I have actually qualified as a certified health and life coach. And yeah, thank you so much for that. And I'm going to be 8 years in the business come 5th of August this year. So yeah, thank you so much for that, Sarah. And amazing. I loved what Natalie talked about vision board. And I think when we look at the issue of flying with a 90-day game plan, I think one of the things that we need to really put in place is our vision board. So yeah, I'm just going to kick this off this morning. So when we're looking at 90 days, a 90-day plan, we need to understand what is a 90-day plan. So I looked at it as a structured and actionable plan that would enable each and every one of us to actually achieve our goals and to make a significant progress within that 90-day plan within our business, and especially with this amazing incentive that we've got, which is real incentive, and that actually should be our number one goal, as in putting a plan in place that would actually help us for us to actually qualify for this incentive. So I want to quickly look at what does it mean if we have to put this in plan? What are we going to do? What do we need to do in order to help us go through this 90 days, with that, it's a 90-day stretch. So it's going to be I've done 90 days in the past, and I know it gets to a point where I begin to feel, oh my God, I'm getting tired. Am I going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again? But if we are able to start this, first of all, by defining our goals, what is your goal? Start by describing your goals for the next 90 days. Why am I actually doing this? Make sure that whatever goals that you're setting are goals that are specific, that are measurable, that something that you can attain, that they are relevant to what you want to achieve, and also that time bound. And I think doing it in 90 days is actually that time bound that we have. So, and it's always good to write this down. Don't just have it in your head and say, okay, I'm working 90 days. This is what, no, make sure you write it down and keep them in focus throughout the progress. So you probably might kind of like get a board and put it there and say, this is what I'm actually, this is my goal, which is where the vision board comes in. Because with the vision board, if you have it in place and it kind of keeps you in, it will help to keep you in focus, and at the same time help you to actually achieve this. And then the second thing I put down is to actually break down these goals into what I call milestones, as in smaller milestones or objectives. You know, you have to, if I'm working, I think with the real incentive, we've got like, we've got different phases. So we actually coming to an end in the first phase this month. So that would kind of help us to say, okay, if I'm going to be doing a 90-day plan, then I'm going to be looking at, okay, in the first 30 days, I should be looking at achieving these social points that can actually help me, so that by the end of the 6 months phase that we've got, for each phase that we've got, I should have been able to achieve my points, the 50 points minimum that I'm expected to have for each of the phases. And I think doing that, that would actually help you. So it's always good to kind of break it down. You can actually break it down into weekly, or you can break it down into bi-weekly targets. You know, breaking these goals will actually help us to keep us in track, to keep that progress, and also to maintain that motivation along the way. Because if you've set a bigger goal for yourself, that motivation is not going to be there. But if you break it down either to weekly or monthly, or whichever way you want to break it down, you find out that that motivation is there for you to actually move on. And I looked at the third point, which is whatever thing that you decide to do, it's always important that we prioritize our task. Whatever task that we are going to be doing, whatever that you need to look at what the key tasks are and the actions that you actually require. What are the actions that we require every single day or every week to be able to achieve or meet up with those milestones that we are setting for ourselves? So you prioritize this task based on the importance and the urgency for it. And that way it would also help us to allocate our time and our resources effectively. Okay. And then the other thing I want to look at is for us to create a timeline. So when we are able to establish a timeline for completing each milestone and the associated task that we have with it, it would help us to ensure that the timeline is realistic and gives us that flexibility in the case that, okay, if I've set a goal for myself and I wasn't able to meet up with that goal due to an unexpected circumstances or something that might have risen up during that timeline, then it's something that would help me to know that, okay, this factor, this is what is likely going to affect me not achieving that timeline, so that if it does happen, you're not going to be weighed down, you're not going to be disappointed, you're not going to be discouraged. So that means you know that, okay, this can actually happen. And then the other thing I also looked at is the fact that resources, you need to allocate resources to whatever you're doing. So you need those resources that would help you to accomplish those goals. We've got our amazing hub where we have lots of informations and things that can actually help us when it comes to talking about the business. So resources I'm talking about could be your time, it could be money, it could be the tools that we have or the necessary assets that we actually need to help us to make sure that this plan that we have created for ourselves, that we are able to achieve it. And I love the fact when Natalie talked about her daily method of operation being consistent. Is something that we need to take into consideration. And we do know that in this business, each and every person that have probably built their business from one level to the other has remained consistent in what they are doing. So it's also good that when we start our 90 days, when we kick it off, we need to make sure that whatever plan that we've put in place, that we are consistent and focused in taking those actions. And remember, like I said, break them down into smaller actionable steps that can actually help you to progress each day. So it could be a case where you have a daily method of operation that you've got that you're going to be doing every single day, that would help you. You can't decide to say, okay, this week you set a different daily method of operation for yourself. Next week, you kind of focus on something else. And that way it helps you to stay committed in your plan, and it doesn't become, it will not become a boring 90-day plan. And that way, even when you are faced with challenges or distractions, it still helps you to remain committed to those plans that you've set aside for yourself. And I think I'm probably going to be around. And then I've also talked about seeking support and accountability. And I think for me, that's what I've done. I do have accountability partners, not just one, not two. I have several accountability partners that I actually work with. And I found out that it has actually helped me, because when you do have them and when you're able to seek support, regardless of whether they're your downline, your front line, whichever your sideline, you're able to approach them and seek support. And that way it helps you. It gives you that guidance. It gives you that support. So when you have somebody that holds you accountable for your action, like what I do with some of my team members is a case whereby every single day I go back to them to say, okay, I'm your accountability partner. Have you been able to achieve A, B, C, D? And if not, then we look for why were you not able to achieve it, and then find ways that you can actually help and support them. The same applies to yourself as well. So you find out when you're sharing this plan with someone else that is going to be able to help you maintain that motivation, that's going to also help you to provide an external perspective of what you are not doing that can actually help your business, or find out what they are doing that you yourself, you're not doing, that is helping their own business to grow. So that's one. And then I talked about the fact that when all of these are being put in place, whether you're doing it personally on your own or you're doing it with your team, it's always good to celebrate every single milestone, every single thing that you have achieved, acknowledge and celebrate those achievements. And you find out that as you reach, and you do this when you reach every milestone, reward yourself for the progress that you have made that can actually help to boost your own motivation and reinforce positive habits. And then finally, I looked at the fact that it's always good to reflect, learn and iterate. Reflect on your experiences, the things that you have learned, identify the lessons that you've learned, identify the mistakes that you've made so that you don't repeat such mistakes. And by so doing, you discover that the new knowledge that you're getting from the mistakes that you've made, the new information that you're getting would also help you to refine your approach for your future success. So thank you. I hope I've been able to pass.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Charity. Sorry, it wouldn't let me unmute myself, but thank you so much. I've really, really loved all of your top tips. I think 90-day game plans are amazing, obviously, for getting great results in the business. And like you said, obviously, you've smashed the business. So we love getting your top tips, and especially, first of the month, second half of the year, absolutely ready to run with them. And I really love it when you hear kind of the same tips as well across the board, because it just shows you these are the things that work. And when you're hearing them over and over again, get your vision board done. It's been a massive kick for me. I'm going to get it done this weekend, so thank you very much. Just being consistent. I really like that you break it down into weekly goals as well, not just with the 90-day game plan, but even smaller consistent goals, because then you can celebrate your wins along the way. And then seeking support and accountability. I absolutely love that, because it's success in numbers, isn't it? And I love the fact that you message people at the end of the day and say, I'm your accountability partner. Have you achieved this today? I'm going to really, really take that on board. And hopefully other people will do that with me as well, because I think that's a great way to achieve success in the business. So thank you so much. If everyone wants to pop their top takeaways into the comments. And Charity, have you got a guest speaker?
Yes, I do. I have got Gladys Osage. Gladys,
Amazing.
where are you?
Yeah, I'm here, Coach. Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Amazing, Gladys. You can just take it away if you like, and just give us a quick run through on your sort of experience with the product so far.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sarah, for having me. And good morning, everybody. My name is
That's all
Gladys
right.
Osagie.
I don't know if your screen's on, Gladys. I don't know if you've got your camera on. If you wanted to put it on, mate.
Okay. I'm actually on my. Oh, if you check another of my name, I think my camera is there. Oh,
Oh, okay, that's all right. It's fine anyway. We can still hear you. It doesn't matter.
okay. Okay. So, can anyone hear me? Okay. So, good morning, everybody. My name is Gladys Osagie. I've been in the business for the past 5 years, and I want to say massive thank you to Charity for giving me this opportunity to share my story. I'm committed to this industry. I started this amazing industry because I wanted to improve my health first. I wanted to improve my wealth. So the product was incredible and it really worked on me. And Coach Charity, she is the queen of 90-day game plan. When I started 2018, then 2019, she initiated 90-day game plan, and that actually helped me build my business. And within 2 years of joining the business, especially in 2020, the work I've done in 2019, because she consistently handle the team to perform in a 90-day game plan, it actually helped me to build my business to an international marketing director within 2 years. And I was able to build a solid team across 7 countries. And I'm a student right now. This amazing opportunity have allowed me to go back to my dream passion to become a software developer. I wouldn't be able to do this if not for this industry. So there's so much to be accomplished in this great industry. Lost 20 kilograms of my weight. I'm not claiming here, but these products are incredible. So if you check my transformational pictures, you'll see how this product are really transformed me into the best version of myself. And then talking about money-wise, like I had to give my boss 2 years leave. I said to him, I want to take 2 years leave because, after getting your international marketing director bonus, you want to stay home, to just enjoy this money. So 2 years, I was able to stay home with my kids as a mom, and now I've gone back to college. I have not even started working again. This business is something that everyone should come and give their best shot. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share my story, and have a great day. God bless.
Oh, Gladys, amazing. Thank you so much. I feel like that needs a round of applause. I love your excitement, your energy levels. Can we just appreciate that for a second? That's IMD in 2 years, a business across 7 countries, being able to quit her job, go back to studying, time freedom, financial freedom, and be at home with her children. Like, what more could you actually want from any type of business? If I wasn't already in the business, Gladys, I would be messaging you today to sign up. So thank you so much. It was incredible, as was you, Charity. That's the first half of our call done, and I think I'm handing over to James. He's going to take over.
Yeah.
But thanks to all of our amazing speakers so far, and I'm excited for the second half of the call.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much, Sara. You always present and you always host so beautifully. So welcome to everyone. My name is James Sanderson, and I am your host for the second hour. So I'm really, really excited about this. I have been with the company now. I'm just thinking about it. I just went to get a coffee and I came back up the stairs and I thought, I've been with the company now for 35 years. 35 years. Earning a check every month. I never really thought that this would really work. I did it as an experiment, but I just fell more and more in love with everything about it, about the company, the products, but really probably more than anything, the community. And it's just been an extraordinary adventure, an extraordinary journey. And I know we're all having that experience now, but just to say, look, if you're just starting and you're just embarking, or you're just 2 years in, 3 years in, you've got decades ahead of you to enjoy, and to enjoy all the benefits from your hard labors and your hard work now. All right, well, look, it's my absolute pleasure now, and if I may just do this just very quickly, it's my pleasure now to introduce what I would consider to be, and I think we would all consider to be, Juice Plus royalty. So it's really interesting what I'm going to say now, because I'm going to introduce our next speaker to us, who is like so epic. He is like Mr. Juice Plus. He embodies everything to do with Juice Plus. I just admire Simon so much, his integrity, his commitment, his focus. It really is extraordinary. But I'm going to read you now his bio, and what's quite funny about this is that I was pretty much there for all of these moments. So it's absolutely great. So Simon Bowler, here we go. Simon initially started as a partner in the field with the Juice Plus company back in May 1990, 32 years ago. So I remember us being at events together. And as the company expanded in Europe, he traveled extensively, living in Holland, Belgium, and France. In 1996, he was invited to join the Juice Plus company corporate team. After an 8-month period of living in Holland, he became the general manager of the Juice Plus company office for the UK-based business in Maidenhead, Berkshire, and the year after was promoted to the position of regional sales director. So I remember all that, and I remember us working, visiting. We had NMD meetings at Simon's house. Can you imagine? For years, we were sitting around the kitchen table as NMDs. So there we go, But then everybody else turned up, which was wonderful. In May 2017, he became the vice president of EMEA sales and was responsible for supporting sales activities in the 16 EMEA countries that the Juice Plus company operates within. From the 1st of May 2020, he was promoted to Vice President Global Partner Relations, where he plays an important role in helping regional sales director managers in their regions around the globe and helps deliver the company mission, values, and vision for the future as he travels around the Juice Plus world. And I think we're all amazed at all the places that Simon has been, and he's just always, in the right place at the right time. In May 2022, he was promoted to Chief Partner Relations Officer in EMEA. More recently, in January 2022, rather than retire, he decided to refire and return to the field and join Jeff Roberti in partnership, which, again, is another huge reincarnation of Simon's career, which is on a very, very positive trajectory. It's fantastic. He lives in Berkshire near the King. And obviously regular walks and breakfasts, and we won't say any more about that. And he's married to Annette, and he has 2 healthy Juice Plus teenagers, Folk 19 and Jade 22. Well, I remember when Jade was a baby. I remember when Jade first came to one of our events, and she came in a pram. So there we go. So it gives me enormous pleasure to introduce you our dear friend Simon. And he's going to talk about what it takes to be successful in Juice Plus. And no one is better qualified than Simon to talk about this subject.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Good. I've just got back actually from a sponsored swim, of all things. 3.3 miles, a killer.
Wow.
One of those. So, yeah. To see everybody, Sue, Aaron, Nikki, a lot of familiar faces. I think I've got like 10 minutes or something. I haven't got long, Ever Jones, but yes, I mean, I've been with the company a long time. We're getting quite antique now, James, aren't we?
No,
I feel that way. But
we're refiring.
We've got plenty of life left in us.
Come on.
Excuse my internet connection, by the way. I've got a BT engineer here. I've actually burnt out my router because I've just done so many Zoom calls. I think that's it. So I'm actually bouncing it off my 4G on my phone. So cross fingers on this one. So I think the great thing about the business is, from a company perspective, I love the innovation of the company and the vision, the forward thinking that it has, from the roots, really, of Jay Martin, the founder and the president. He's still there, still goes into the office. He's a little bit older now, he's late in his 70s. But the company really has been a force for thinking outside the box and having mission-driven products that have helped change people's lives. I think that's the real root of it all. If you look back to the 70s, smoke detectors, right? I mean, we've all got them now. We have to have them compulsory in the house, get your insurance. Nobody had smoke detectors in the 70s, North America, or anywhere in the world. Company pioneered that whole market and did over $1 billion in the 70s, right? I'm just giving you some history. I think it's important to see where it's come from. And then from there, it moved on to water filtration systems, 87, air filtration systems when nobody had really got them, came over to Europe, massive expansion. And then from there, of course, they sort of tripped up with Juice Plus through Jeffrey Bertie's girlfriend. Interesting story. And Juice Plus, if you think about it, 1993, I mean, who was really thinking about nutrition in those days? And there was no science at all to say, okay, well, if you take this, what is it going to do when it gets in my body? So I think that there on it is incredible, you know, and we've got now over 1 million kids taking Juice Plus around the world for free. I mean, it's a life changer between 4 and 25. So the business, the actual company for me, I would say is probably the most important part, because unless you've got a very good company with very good management in place, and also everything else that goes with it, the cash flow, you know, the ability to handle growth as well when growth does come, and also handle the business when it goes down, you know, that's another thing you've got to do. So the company is solid as a rock. That's the important part. You need to know this company, just like for James and for Nikki and for Sue, where the company supported them for, you know, tens and tens of years, that company's still there. So it's 53 years old. You're going to know very safely, I'm going to put 10 years into this, 15, 20 years, it's still going to be there to pay me for my time. Number one, before you even look at any product, is that going to work? Just because I see so many companies have come and gone, you know, amazing products, by the way, I would have bought, you would have bought, and go, wow, yeah, amazing. But they just couldn't handle it. So that's that. So the company won't let you down. Is the company perfect? No, it isn't. But I mean, I don't know any perfect company, by the way, in the world, right? But thing is, it's doing the basic, delivering the product. It takes the money off the customer. It pays you commissions on the 10th of every month. That's the basics you need as a partner to go out and do your business. Next one, of course, is, excuse me, Juice Plus. I've probably heard from Sue. I wasn't on earlier. Sue, what's your nickname, Sue? The Grenade. Sue the Grenade. There we go. Listen, Juice Plus, it's never going to let you down. And the great thing is, it's timeless. We just know it's going to be around 50 years' time. When I'm in a box 6 foot under the ground with a few worms, I know people will still be buying Juice Plus because it's fruits, vegetables, and berries. You know, it's a God-given product. So that's the absolute winner. So the only thing in question that you may have heard about, I don't know from some people this morning, it's actually us. We're the big thing on this one is actually, do we work? Company works, checkbox. Product works, checkbox. Do we work? Not really sure. Yeah, that really is it. Now, if you want to do reasonably well out of this business, I'm talking you make 200, 300, 400 pounds a week, sorry, a month rather, that, you know, you can do that part-time alongside what you're doing. Then you want to get a bit more serious, make 1,000, 2,000 pounds a month. You're going to have to put more time, of course, but you can still do that part-time. Now, if you want to move to the next bigger positions, you go NMD and beyond, you're going to have to think long-term on this. You're going to have a 5-year plan. If you want to get to where James is, right, you're probably going to need a 15 to 20-year plan to do that. That's just business, guys. Yeah, there is no quick get-rich scheme in the world today, unless you're going to go behind bars pretty quick. But that's just the way it is. So you've got to say, okay, where do I want to go? What do I want to get out of this? Right, okay, great. I'd like to get where James is. Have I got a 15 or 20-year journey? That's my runway. Can I stay on the runway for that long? Because Juice Plus and the company actually can give you anything that you truly want. Why am I saying that? Because I truly believe it. I mean, I've seen so many people around the world. I was with Linda Everden last night, who's a top PMD plus from Australia. And she's been in the business around for over 15 years. Can't tell you how much she makes, but she's got an incredible business. She really, really has, that looks after her and her husband and the kids. She's retired husband. He was in corporate industry. And that's what you can do there. So basically what Juice Plus does, it allows us to serve people and help them with the health on their journey to health. And Juice Plus is a little bit of a catalyst to get people going where they go, oh, actually, I'm starting to feel better now with Juice Plus. I may go to the gym. great. I've been to the gym for 10 years. I'll go to the gym, start some thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to drink more water. I'll drink my 2 litres of water. And before you know it, they're making all these health choices. No, I'm not going to eat that rubbish there, that junk this morning. I'm going to have a nice shake. Healthier. And then with doing that, of course, you grow this great customer base. From there, I'll say now on the call is you've got to have this global attitude in your mind of working local, but thinking global. Why is that? Because the smartphone now, listen, it allows you to build anywhere. And Jeffrey Bertie says, if you're not using your smartphone, it's a dumb phone, right? I don't know who's not using a phone now. So you can build this international business that's going to give you some incredible options to do some amazing things with your life. And that's what money does, really. It's that great tool where we can have these amazing decisions that we want to do. Juice Plus is going to be able to do that for you because it's not going to tie you down like a normal business, a job, job, just over broke, where you have to go to the office, right? That's it. So Juice Plus is going to give you that freedom, right? Where if you want to travel, my kids now, by the way, they're on planes every week. They don't want to have a boss. They don't want to be in an office. They want to rule the world and go around and do what they want to do. That's the millennials and the Gen Zs. That's the future of our business, right? And we've got this great ticket item for them. Actually, we can do all those things for you that we want. So as you can see, I've got great belief in this company, great belief in the product. I've been a product to the product since '93. My whole family is. Listen, we've got Juice Plus running through our veins. And we feel amazing, right? Health is the #1 ticket item, right? That's your wealth nowadays, as we know. So Juice Plus isn't going to disappoint you. You've got to get yourself serious, really. Business has got its proven formula of success if you follow it, right? If you follow that, guaranteed, if you do the basics, you will come out to be a huge success. But going on the route to that is going to be a very bumpy ride, and you're going to have many times when you go, I want to quit. I've had enough. I don't like people saying no to me. I don't like people telling me I'm not going to be successful. That's what happens, really. And it's this amazing personal growth journey that money can't buy, by the way. You can't buy that one. It's going to expand you and test you out to every little degree, right? And it's like a fast learning process in so many ways. So the business is beautiful, guys. If you can just stay on this conveyor belt to where you want to go, it's going to be a beautiful view at the end of the conveyor belt. But it's going to be bumpy to start with. But as long as you know that and your mind knows, you go, oh, actually, yeah, they told me it's going to be bumpy. They told me I want to quit. They told me to be careful of some people's opinions rather than facts. So that's where it is, really. And the great thing is now, I believe the best days are ahead of us in the company, not behind us. Why is that? There's more plant-based products to come. Product range will expand. New CEO who starts on Monday, who I believe is the right guy. New countries we're going to go in, which we're only serving 1 billion people in the countries we're in now, 27 countries, right? We've got another 6 billion to go around the world. Think about that. They need Juice Plus. They don't know about Juice Plus. Somebody's got to tell them about Juice Plus. That's your job. So why not have this amazing, incredible global business that is giving you the opportunity to travel with the people that you want and to be around, and where you become this incredibly successful, independent, kick-ass person, that's having an awful lot of fun. And this business is a lot of fun. If you're not doing it right, by the way, there's something wrong. You've got to have fun every day. And that's it. So that's all from me, James. I'm going to hand you back. Otherwise, I'm going to be rabbiting on for another half an hour.
Yeah, well, thanks, Simon. Thank you so much. I mean, you know, obviously your insights are like absolutely epic. I mean, you've been working with Jeff, you know, now for probably 6 months or 7 months. Can you tell us what you pick up from him that you feel is just a fundamental element of what has made him successful? I know we all look at Jeff and we're very impressed, but what are your personal impressions of him, and what do you see in him that is just this extraordinary element that seems to have made him so successful?
First one is I'm still working him out. And by the way, I think he's still working me out as well.
Yeah.
So the relationship is a process as always. I've got a great time for Jeff, really have. I've just known him for so long. And actually, like all successful people, believe it or not, there's always comes a little bit of insecurity. But I've got to tell you what Jeff's great traits are, why he's been so successful. He's always had great work ethics, and that comes from his childhood, really, of his having nothing, his father dying in his 40s, and he was a broke waiter. You've heard the story. Now, not only that, what he did is he went to work big time. First of all, in the early days, he gave it 150%, not 100, 150%, breakneck speed. Why is that? Because it's easy to go fast than it is slow. Listen to that one. Why is that? Because you build momentum in this business, and once that wheel is moving, it's incredibly fast. That's what Jeff did. So he was hungry. He had the massive burning desire. And what I see him in today, right? I mean, he's had an ability with this company, right? And his business has turned over $10 billion over those 36 years. 90% of the Juice Plus business is his business around the world. And he's made over $120 million, right? There's no compliance people on here, is there? Right, so with that, it's given him multiple income streams. So he's got a raft of property over in Sarasota, which is incredible. Really is great to see. But what he's doing now, he's got a bigger vision. Part of it, I think, is us working together. We've got a great synergy, and we're a great tag team, that he really wants to get busier again and put more effort in. So you'll see his socials are starting to blow up now, right? He's going to be a lot more active and a lot more present. And he actually wants to get into some of these bigger countries when we open them. India, 1.4 billion people. Brazil, 293 million people when we get into South America. Huge countries. We're not even in those, countries at the moment. And what I love about Jeff as well is he wants to play it forward now. He's got enough money. I mean, he can retire a long time ago. But what he wants to do, he wants to serve and look after the next new generation that's coming through. The younger guys, like my kids, and millennials and Gen Zs, which are the ones that are going to take it and hold the baton and build this into $1 billion company and beyond, really. And I look at all the other companies. I was just at the Direct Selling Association a few days, and we're a little bit, I think, a bit like Herbalife, which you may have heard of. Herbalife had a buyout from a private equity company over 20 years ago. They had 3 bumpy years, which were really rough. Got the wrong people involved, didn't go in the right direction. Then they got a guy called Michael Johnson came on board from Disney, absolutely blew it away eventually. He's back on board again, by the way, in charge. And they went from $1.5 billion company to over $7 billion today, from 30 countries to over 100 countries. And that's going to be Juice Plus. That is it. That is going to happen. I can guarantee you, right? So all of a sudden, our private equity company seem to be getting very organized. They're waking up and smelling the roses and going, well, actually, that wasn't the right person we put in charge. So you're going to see a lot of good stuff coming from the company perspective, which is important. You've got to know that the guys up there at the top are the guys that you're in partnership with, and go, yeah, I love those guys. I'm really very, very confident with those people. So that's going to start and come through, and you're going to feel good about that going forward. New products come in, new markets. So I get yourself organized, right? Get yourself geared up a little bit more, where actually you want to put more work into it and more effort, because you've got to do that if you want to be successful. And I think there's a lot of people post-pandemic have been very tentative. They've not been going out, they've not been meeting people, but also they've not been top of the game with the business, and they've been, playing small. So I'm saying start playing big again now, because the company will reward you for it. It really will. But you know what? You're going to have to pay the price. Same old story. That's the way it goes. Work comes in before the results. That's our business for you. But you could literally change not hundreds of people's lives, thousands of people's lives, and you have more power than a doctor. Harley Street doctor once told me, I studied for over 10 years in my profession. Top Harley Street doctor, you at Juice Plus, actually can help more people than I can affect myself. Think about the power that you've got with that. That is incredible, isn't it? It really is. So that's all for me, James. I'll hand you back.
Great, yeah, well, wonderful. And are you off on a 5-mile run this afternoon?
Rowing, believe it or not.
Are you?
I've got rowing. I'm rowing at 1 o'clock. Yeah.
Oh, well done. Well, good. Well, thanks for fitting us in. Anyway, brilliant, Simon. Thank you so much. Wonderful insights. Just superb. So thank you very, very much indeed. So we're now going to
lots of love.
We're now going to turn over to another veteran, Nikki Tolson. So Nikki, hello, Nikki, are you there?
I'm here, James.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. So just before we move on to our next speaker, would you remember those meetings around Simon's dining room table as the NMDs? We were the NMDs.
I do.
There were 6 of us or 7 of us or whatever. And we looked.
That's absolutely right.
There must be other people out there somewhere. And of course, now everyone is here. But Nikki, tell us your story, because it's very, very interesting. I mean, yeah.
Well, James, I'm quite old and I don't know which part of my story you find quite interesting. I was just fascinated by what Simon was saying. And, it just feels like coming back into the family on these calls. It's wonderful. Once a month, you just have a family meeting again. But where do I live? I live in Folkestone, which is on the south coast. I look at the English Channel. I can see France from my home. And I've had 6 kids go through my hands in the last God knows how many years. I had my last baby when I was 40. He's 33, be 34 next birthday. And with this Juice Plus business, I've always said to my kids, every 3 to 6 months, something big or different is going to happen. Just deal with it and get on with life. And Juice Plus is very much like that. When I first joined this business, I was living in Oxfordshire and we moved to Kent. And within a very short time, my husband was bankrupted, which wasn't very funny because I was in my 40s with young children and £5 in my purse. But before I'd left Oxford, I had actually signed a license for this business, hadn't done anything with it. And then they introduced Juice Plus. Well, nobody knew anything about Juice Plus in those days. So it was a learning curve for all of us. And I've kind of grown up with Juice Plus. And my kids, even today, say, why do you have to talk to everybody? Well, everyone's got a story. And if I don't talk to people and find out a little bit about them, I have no idea whether I can help them. And that's really what this business is all about. So in the early days, we had to fax our orders through. The tools that you've got nowadays are absolutely mind-blowing. We didn't even have a website. And when they did produce a website, it was so Mickey Mouse, it was unbelievable. We were ashamed to use it. We couldn't send anyone to it because it literally was Mickey Mouse hopping around the screen. But do you remember that, James?
I do. I mean, we've morphed from, faxing stuff in. I mean, it's so easy now in comparison to what it was. Anyway.
So nobody's really got any excuse these days because when after the bankruptcy, I got a job in a hospital. And what I've only just recently started to tell people is that while I was working at the hospital, I was growing a team of people who were scattered all over the country, just like I expect a lot of your team members are these days. And I was taking time off my hospital job to go and support my team members. So when it came to actual holiday time, I didn't have any left. So that really, all of these were sort of stings and spurs to really make me move my Juice Plus business into something that was going to be worthwhile. And there are the days that you think, this is not happening. I can't cope with it. What am I doing to myself? Nobody's doing anything. I'm the only one that's doing anything at all. And there are days on payday when you think it was worthwhile. It really was worthwhile. And I think when it really came home to me was when I was in a position to take my whole family to South Africa on safari for 2 weeks. And as they stepped onto the pavement here in the UK, I said, for the next 2 weeks, everything's on me.
I was like, I honestly felt like...
That's not me. So, yeah, I think really the magic about this business, whether you're doing it online, whether you're doing it face-to-face, however you're doing it, is with the people in front of you, just think, I can help everybody, whatever their problem, whatever their worries, whatever their concerns, whether it's health, whether it's income. Because when you finally put your feet into the shoes of someone who is earning that residual income, every month the money comes in and you haven't got to worry about the bills and anything else that's coming through, that's when you've made it. And that's when you really know that you can help an awful lot of other people. It becomes addictive. So beware, everybody. Juice Plus is very addictive in all shapes and forms.
I love that, Nikki. Thank you very much. Brilliant. Well done. I mean, life journey in partnership and harmony with Juice Plus. It's a beautiful, beautiful combination. Great. Well, thank you so much. So now we're going to move on, and we are moving on to, and I think she's on. I hope yes, she's on. She's on. I'm so excited about this. So I'm so excited about our next speaker. So this person brings so much energy to Juice Plus. She's always on it. She's always full of focus. She's always looking to really reinvent herself in every possible way to become successful. Hugely inspiring. So, we were all at the event on Thursday, which was absolutely fantastic with Linda. And so with the London events, and Erin does such a superb job with that. So I'm going to introduce you to Erin O'Toole now, QNMD. So I'm a mum of three, originally from Australia, and a TV journalist with Sky News. I found the opportunity by chance 5 years ago and thought it seemed like a fun way to get healthy and be more than a mum while on maternity leave. I love everything about the opportunity, especially the fact that it allows busy mums like myself to have goals and fulfill ambitions in a flexible way so that we can work around our families, not away from them. I've built a fabulous team in several countries and so excited to help them all get whatever they want from the opportunity. So would you give a big round of applause or a big Zoom round of applause to Erin O'Toole, who's going to talk us through
There we go. I have unmuted. Thank you so much, James. I am so excited to be here. And you know what? Just hearing that introduction, it couldn't be more appropriate for today. So I'm in the car. I have just witnessed my youngest child do her gymnastics competition. And it literally, as you know, she got actually 6th place, which was amazing out of 40 children. So we're really, really happy with that. But she got her medal, she got her certificate. I got to see it all. And then as she was she'd finished, my mum went to collect her. I came out and I've jumped in the car to do this call. And that's what I love about this opportunity. You do not have to choose. Yes, you have to make some sacrifices. And yes, you do have to put yourself out there. It'd be very easy for me to have said to James, look, I'm really sorry. Saturday is a very hard day for me. I've got the gymnastics competition. I've got to work, etc., etc. But that's one thing. I will never say no to an opportunity. And I think that is something that is absolutely key if you want to make a success of your Juice Plus business. You cannot say no to an opportunity. Just make it happen, guys. Even if you have to be late to something, even if you have to get organized so that you're ready before you go to something so you can go straight to something else. You just have to make it happen. And I think that is really key for Rio. So I'm here today to talk to you about setting your sail for Rio, right? Setting your sights on Rio. And I don't know, I think if I'm allowed to, I'm going to go probably a little bit off piste because I'm not going to talk about the points. Because for me, it doesn't really come down to the points. Those are the nitty-gritties, right? That's what, at the end of the day, in a year or so, you're going to need to make sure all tallied up. But for now, I think it comes down to a decision. You have to decide, are you going to go for Rio? And it can't just be I'm going to put my screensaver as Rio. Oh, I'm going to tell my upline, oh, I'm going to go for Rio. Let's go for Rio. Oh, of course, I'm going to be NMD by 2025. I'm going to be in Rio. That's not enough. That's not going to get you there. That's not going to get me there. And when I say I have had a complete mind shift change in the last 6 months, a complete one. So I'm a very confident person. Those that know me will know that I am a very confident person. However, my self-belief hasn't always been on point. So while I've had amazing people like James, like John Holowati supporting me, always telling me, you can do this, you can absolutely do this. And I've been so appreciative of that. Deep down, I have not believed that I can. And you know what was happening? I wasn't. So the more deep down I was telling myself I couldn't do it, it wasn't going to happen for me, the more energy I'm putting towards those thoughts, the less energy I'm putting towards making it happen. So a couple of months ago, it just shifted. And I just went, I can be it. And once you make that decision that you can be NMD, it takes away so much anxiousness, so much fear, so much worry. It doesn't matter. You're going to be NMD. And if you truly start to believe you're going to be NMD and you're going to be in Rio, everything you do will change, because you'll start doing it with real intention. Because it's very easy to say you're going to be NMD, but you have to have that internal belief that you're going to, and then you've got to actually put in the energy and the effort. And it's got to be more than the average energy and effort, okay? Because average energy and effort is not going to get you an all expenses paid round the world experience. It's really not. Like, that doesn't happen in this world. It's for people that go above and beyond and just try and go and go and go. And then you feel exhausted, but you keep going and you keep going and you keep going, believing that if you keep going, it will come to you. And I think it's really a mind shift. It really is a mind shift change. So then I'm going to talk about, obviously, we've got these points. And yes, it's amazing that we get recognized for each stage. But I don't want people to think even if they're on 0 points right now, that doesn't mean you're not going to Rio, guys. You could start building up a business. You might bring in someone that ends up in as QNMD in a year. If you get a QNMD within a year, do you not think that you're going to get points? You're going to start building a huge business with that person, and that's going to bring points. So I really don't want people to be discouraged where they are right now. I have no idea what points I've got. No idea. And actually, I don't think I've got a huge amount, because a lot of people I bought in, they, my priority is for them to maximize their points with their orders. So I didn't want them to place their orders necessarily as soon as they started. It was like the next week. So it was into the next month. So they could hopefully go for Partner Plus. So those points didn't count, because it has to be within the same month as the person signing up. So I actually don't have probably that many points. But am I worried? No, because I know I'm building up people. I'm building up new Partner Pluses. I'm building up, hopefully, people to be SP, SC, QSSC, SSCs. And by me doing that, the points are going to come naturally. So I really don't want you guys to get so fixated on the points that you actually hold yourself back for the long term. Keep that long-term vision. The long-term vision is you've got to get NMD. Because if you're not going to get NMD by then, okay, so that's got to be the focus, I think, personally. Because I think so often, if we don't get that short-term win, we get so down on ourselves and we beat ourselves up so much that it can actually hinder us in the long run. So I want you to forget what's gone. I want you to just tell yourself, it doesn't matter. Even if you're on 0 points, it matters what you do now, okay? And everything can change now. Everything can change today. You might have a conversation with someone who is going to absolutely transform your business today. And how amazing is that, guys? I really always like to think that the biggest storms provide the brightest rainbows. That's my mentality in life. And I really always believe that brighter days are coming. So if you are struggling with your business, okay, if you've maybe lost team or you feel like you're starting again, think about that rainbow. It's going to lead to a brighter rainbow. It's cleared those people out for a reason, okay, so that new growth can come through. So if you are building again from scratch, get excited by that, guys. You've been given an amazing opportunity here, an amazing opportunity to build again, to work with someone new, to maybe attack your business in a different way, to learn from the mistakes you've made, to grow as a person. And I think that if you focus on that, growing as a person, the rest will fall into place. So I really hope that you guys start to trust a bit more, stress a bit less, and believe that you can do what you want to do. And I want to say to you, why not us? Why not us? You know, I remember years ago with my eldest daughter, she's an aspiring actress. And a couple of years ago, some people said to me, oh, you know, don't you get worried that you're sort of building her up? Because, you know, I believe she's going to be a fantastic actress that's going to make absolute impact in this world. And they said, aren't you worried that you're going to build her up for disappointment? And I said, there has to be a Meryl Streep. Why not her? There has to be a John Holowati. Why not you? There has to be the top people in this world. Why can't that be you? Why can't you forge that path? Why can't you be the one sharing on stage how you overcame the odds, how you worked on yourself, believed in yourself, and turned yourself into a fantastically successful, amazing business owner? There's absolutely no reason why it can't be you guys. And I'm so excited for you all. So what I would say is think about going on your own journey, because I've had to really think hard about that. You know, I'd let my health go. I'd let life and stress really get to me. So I've had to really strip it back and think about how can I be the best version of myself? And I've had to, really make some lifestyle changes, and I'm working on that. It's already inspiring me to be more confident, sharing the products, because now I'm actually really using them again, not just playing with them, I guess. And that's having a huge impact, and it will have a huge impact going forward. So don't worry about where you are now, because a couple of weeks ago, I thought, God, I'm not a product of the product. I'm anything but. Okay. And don't get me wrong. Am I where I want to be already? Absolutely not. But I'm 2 weeks further than what I was 2 weeks ago. So you can start today with that. So start today with your own journey. Start today with that new mindset and belief. But I really would love you to all spend some time at some point today, go for a walk or meditate or just chill, have a bath, and really think about if you want to be in Rio. And if you do, then you deserve to make that happen. Okay, you owe it to yourself. And I truly believe the rest will fall into place for us all. That's how I'm going to go. That's how I'm approaching things. I hope you guys have found that helpful. And I just can't wait, because you know what? The worst that can happen, guys, is we grow our business. That's the worst that can happen from this. So please don't let anything detract from that. If you get one new customer, will that one new customer necessarily mean you've suddenly hit the points? No, but that's a huge win. That customer, you could change their life. So please don't ever diminish your wins because you think, oh, but that's nothing compared to where I need to get to. It's not nothing. Also, that customer might end up being your best team member. Okay? So where there's life, there is always hope. Okay? Where there is life, there is always hope. So I really want you guys to, whatever's gone with that, I've just thrown my sunglasses off, really, whatever's gone, and let's start building for the future. Okay? Work on yourself, believe in yourself, and trust. Trust more, stress less. And that's me. So now I am going to bring on the incredible Sara to share her story. I've just got to find her really quickly. There she is. I'm going to bring on the incredible Sara. Sara has rejoined the business last month. She had to have 9 months away from the business. She didn't necessarily want to have 9 months away from the business, by the way, but she had to. But now she is back. She hit Partner Plus last night, despite having a very tough month. And she is absolutely going to be an absolute rising star of this company. And I'm very, very proud of her. And I'd just like to say, welcome, Sara. And I think, James, if you could unmute Sara, that would be amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Great, excellent. Well, thank you for having me on here. So just to go off of what Erin has just said, I am the proof in the pudding of what Erin literally just said. I've had 3 family members this month facing life-threatening health problems, and I could have put the business down, and there were many days I messaged Erin and was like, I cannot do this business today. And a really confident, calm message back. Some days Erin was like, take some time for you. Other days she was like, okay, just get the important bits done. And Erin literally did teach me that, because this business is about sharing your life, to be vulnerable. And I got, this month I had 3 new team members, 6 orders, and then hit P plus. And to be honest, most of them were off the back of vulnerable conversations. So talking about why health is so important to me right now, and why health is important for, I've got 4 children, ages 2, 4 and 2 11-year-old twins. So health right from that generation going straight up to the older generation. So it is for everyone. And just having natural conversations about why health for me this month was like such a high focus on a really serious level. When I was in the business before, I did a lot about weight loss, and now the universe has shifted me into focus of, okay, if we don't do something about our health now with these children that I have every day in front of me, what could happen is what is happening to the older generation. And it sounds so simple. And when I've spoke to some people about it, I thought, oh, if I talk about all the science, it's going to be really boring. Do you know how many people went, yeah, that makes perfect sense? And it's completely, it threw my mind, because I was putting a block there thinking they're not gonna really care about this bit, and they're not gonna really care about that bit. But people do care. You know, it is why Juice Plus is so good. If you walk around any of the supermarkets, there isn't someone there guiding you. I just got a really funny story about tea bags when I was in the supermarket the other day, about how many different tea bags there are now. And every single one of them says health on them. There's something healthy about them, but they're actually not. So I was getting really annoyed, because I'd done all this studying about what is and what isn't good. And then I thought, I'm wasting an opportunity here, because I'm really passionate about this. And I'm turning 30 this year, and I want to make health trendy again and make it important to people. You know, I don't think that many people really care about a lot of celebrities' lives apart from what they're wearing, and that's not sustainable. Your whole life, a dress you buy today is not going to be the same in 50 years time. So yeah, that was my passion. And I want to just drop, I know there's some people on here who are looking for tips for recruitment. Something I've really been working on is, not everybody runs the business the same way you do. So I was trying to put it into categories. Some people just want to do this business for fun, to go to the events, to make friends with people. Some people just want to work this on a Tuesday morning. Some people just want to do this on the evenings once their kids go to bed. Some people want to completely change their lives. So when you're offering the business, something that I've really learned is to make sure I say, you do not have to do the business the way I do it. And then I had 3 team members from last month 3 team members waiting to join up today. So it's really something, please write it down, about telling people the different ways of doing this business and how it can work for different people. One of my team members, she has a beauty salon, and she was like, there is no way I have time for this business, but I love the products. And I said, well, how many clients do you speak to a day? And she was like, oh, good day, 10. And I was like, that's 10 people you could talk about the business to. You know, if they're your friends, you already have that regular connection with them. And she was like, oh, yeah, so actually the business would be really easy, wouldn't it? So just by taking the time to explain the different ways of doing the business must be like my top tip. But Erin, you know, I will waffle forever. So I hope that has helped some of you, and thank you for having me on.
Great. Well, look, thank you very much, Sara. That was absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Erin. Fantastic. Thank you for slotting us in, being there, doing it, coming with such energy, turning up so on point. Thank you so much. Okay, so now let's move on to our final speaker. I'm so excited to be introducing this person now. Mary Penrose, PMD. She's just back with her husband Seamus from Chicago. I really hope that we'll hear a little bit about that. But Mary's going to be talking about what it takes to be successful in Juice Plus, and you know, she got an extraordinary story. So before Juice Plus, Mary was a secondary school teacher. She joined the business out of desperation, with the hope of being able to earn up to €500, they live in Ireland, extra each month. She had no social media following and a very small circle of friends, but a desire to change the direction their life was going in. And the Juice Plus company has provided her with a vehicle to live a life of freedom and fulfillment. And I think for all the people that are following them on socials, you know, we can see they just are having a fantastic life. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you the fantastic Mary Penrose.
Thank you so much, James. And I just want to start by saying, what a way to start July. This call has been phenomenal. The quality of speakers, the value that is shared, the energy. I don't believe there is anywhere else in the world that we should be this morning but here. So thank you so much, James, for everything that you continue to pour into our community. It's because of people like you that we get to keep seeing what's possible. So thank you so much for bringing us all together this morning. So I'm so excited, guys. Have I 10 or can we push 15 minutes? Can we go to 12? Is that okay, James? Okay, amazing. I've got so much I want to share with you. Like James said, I run this business alongside my husband. We have just celebrated our 10-year anniversary with the most phenomenal company in the world in May. And every day I wake up, I am so grateful for having said yes to this opportunity. But what I think is so exceptional is when I've sat here this morning listening to all of the different speakers, there is not one of us that is the same. Every single one of us are unique in our own way, and every single one of us are able to achieve phenomenal success. So no matter what you feel you currently lack, I want you to first and foremost realize that you have everything within you that you need to be successful. But what you need to do is you need to take action. So as we end today, as I kick off my section, I'd love you to write in the chat, what is the one action step that you're going to take from everything that you heard today? Because knowledge is only powerful when we implement it. So you can take away everything that you've learned, but unless you actually are like, okay, well, this is the one thing that from this morning's Coffee Success session I'm going to implement, nothing will change in your life. So believe in myself. I love that, Natasha. Well done for contributing as well to the chat. Everybody, I want you all, guys, if you won't contribute to this, the chances are you're not going to go out and share our product and share our opportunity with everyone else. Do not feel that I don't have, what I say doesn't matter. What you say does matter, because your people are waiting for you. So we started our business 10 years ago. And like James said, the reason that we started it was out of desperation. I was a secondary school teacher, and Seamus, he's always been really entrepreneurial. He has had lots of different businesses, and he ran a stair business for many years. But unfortunately, recession hits and we found ourselves in a really bad financial situation. Now, I never wanted to come across that I had a difficult life. I didn't. I've always been really happy. I have a great marriage. We were blessed with 2 beautiful kids. I have a very supportive, family circle. But when you don't have enough money, that creates a different energy in your life. And the only thing that we used to argue about was money. But I was not aware that there was an opportunity like this in the world. So how many people, first and foremost, are out there like me? Because I'm not unique, but I wasn't aware that network marketing was something that I could do. I was very shy. I love how Erin, wasn't Erin yet? Erin said that she was super confident, but she lacked belief in herself. Well, I was not confident, and I also lacked belief in myself. I was really shy. I didn't have a large circle of friends, but what I did have was a desire for more. I've always been a dreamer. I've always looked at other people and been like, I wonder what they do for a living. How can they afford to go on holidays here, to drive cars like that, to be able to buy those sort of things? I was always wanting to know, how can people possibly do that? But I was brought up to believe that in order for you to create a life like that, you needed to be super smart. You needed to have like a really big job that you worked all of the hours, which meant you sacrificed time with your family. And the reason that I went into teaching was because I knew one day I wanted to be a mom, and I wanted to be able to be present with them as much as possible. So I thought that teaching was the best option for me, because I was going to have my summers off with them. I would have all of their school holidays off. But at the same time, guys, you're restricted, because when they have a school play, when they're doing something, when you're teaching, you can't get time off to go see that. So when the business was first mentioned to me, I immediately said no. I didn't even listen to what it was about or what I would need to do. I just said no, because I didn't believe I could do it. I was afraid of failing, and I was so worried about what other people would think. I was a very private person, and I didn't want the world to know the financial situation that we were in, because from everyone looking in, I had the perfect life. I had 2 kids. I had a great husband. I was a teacher. But we were drowning financially. The line that was said to me, and I never will forget even where I was standing when I heard this, was, you must be one of the lucky ones that doesn't need an extra income. And that line has changed the trajectory of my life, because I became open to finding out, well, what would I need to do? What does it look like? And when I realized that I could get started today, essentially, I didn't have to make a huge investment. I didn't even have, it was €100 when I joined. I didn't even have €100 to waste. But I knew I had 6 friends that were like, Mary, I need that product, because they'd seen the results in me. So I knew I was going to make that back when it was explained to me. So I thought, well, why not give it a go? Maybe I can build this up that I could consistently earn €200 a month. I had no clue. I definitely did not have the vision that I have today. But I started afraid. I started not knowing if it was going to work. And I decided that if I wanted our situation to change, then I had to be willing to do something about it. I couldn't keep complaining about where the life that we were living if I wasn't willing to try something new. So I always say, we went down the road less traveled. In Letterkenny, which was where I was born and raised, and I lived there for 30, what age am I now? I'm 39, for 38 years of my life. Very few people had ever heard of Juice Plus. And within the course of, I would say, 3 years, so there's a population of 17,000 people in that small town, we had created 7 national marketing directors in that small town. And like I said, we started with nothing, with no social media following, not knowing who we were going to speak to. But we had a vision of the life that we wanted to live. And we thought, well, imagine if we can earn €200 a month. We did that, and it was like, imagine if you could earn 5. What if you could earn 1,000? So it was always the next step we focused on. Within 11 months, we started the business off my husband's name. We built it to EMD. And this is one thing that I think is very important, guys. We only started my business when we had a solid five legs for Seamus. Okay, if you're new, you may not understand what that means, but I didn't start straight away when he started. It wasn't like Seamus needed a leg for a promotion, so it was like, Mary will start you. We built his business because you're building two businesses. It's difficult at times to build one, never mind build two. So we didn't start my business until Seamus was SSC. He had 5 legs. I became a 6th leg. Okay, so within 11 months, his business had gone. So in the same month we did this, he went EMD and I went NMD. We thought it was incredible. We were like, oh my God. I retired from teaching. He had gone back to college to retrain. He finished out his college. I was able to be at home with my kids, but still do something for me, something that I felt for the first time in my life that I was actually good at, that I was helping people, that I was making a difference, and people were recognizing me. Never had this in my life. But we stopped doing what we did to get us to that position. We went into managerial mode. We started to help our team. And with that comes a different business. Your team will do what you do, not what you say. And when we finally, because I thought I needed to fix everything, and our business started to decline. And I was like, how do we fix this? And it took us 4 years to grow it to PMD. Lots of people left in that time when we were growing our business to PMD, but we stuck it out. Because the only way that you will feel is if you actually quit. This business, it's impossible for you not to at one point realize what has been holding you back, and your business will explode. And as a result, we've got to create the most phenomenal life. We get to live life on our terms. We were just talking about this. June has been the most exceptional month. We moved our family in September to Malahide. It's one of the most expensive places that you could possibly live in Ireland. It's beautiful. It's by the sea. It's 20 minutes from the city. It's just a beautiful community feel here. And our kids have absolutely excelled. They are different children since we have moved here. If you're a mom or a dad on this, you will know what I mean. Everything we do is for our kids. Everything we do is for them. And I don't want to get emotional, but seeing the growth in them, it's only been possible because I've had to grow. Seamus has had to grow because of this business. We never would be the people we are today if we hadn't have said yes 10 years ago. So we moved our family. They have had the best 9 months of their life. They live a different life here. We have been to Chicago we went for 10 nights. Because we can. You can see the sign behind me, the Chicago and the award for qualifying. It was the most phenomenal trip. We've been so lucky to attend all of the different trips that the company have arranged. We've been to Dubai back in, I think it was 2020. Every trip gets better and better. But this week we got back on Monday. We have been at concerts Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Friday night. It's just been amazing because we've been able to build this business around our life. We drop our kids to school, we go for a beautiful walk along the sea. On our way back, we stop for a coffee. Sometimes we stop for brunch. We come back, we start our work. Kids come home from school, we take care of them. We do some work in the evenings. We've been able to create a life by design, and it has only been possible because of this business. And what you must remember is we are not able to help someone until we sell to them. And so many people have a hang up but I don't want to appear salesy. I don't want to, be pushy. That is not my style at all. But what I say to people is I can't actually help you until you get started in the products, or I can't actually help you until you say yes to this business. So if you're telling me that you're not happy with your life, then say yes and let me show you how we can change that. So you must always have this in your mind. This business is no longer about you. It's about who you can serve. And you must keep your eye on your objective. Like, what is your goal? Because if you don't know your goal, then everything else is going to take over. And when you keep your eye on your goal, all of the obstacles will get out of your way. So desire, I believe, is key. My desire to help and serve and teach others how to create the life that I've been able to create for me and my family is so strong. So I don't plan on slowing down for this summer. You must decide as well, what are you going to do? Summer is busy with kids, but this is one summer that if you plan your day, and always teaching the team about scheduling your day. Whatever you schedule gets done. So if you know this week the kids have summer camps, well, you plan that when you drop the kids to summer camps, you sit in your car for 30 minutes and you do your DMO. You do the most important activities, which is having those conversations. Everything else we'll do, we'll take our photographs, we'll post on our socials, we'll do that anyway, but it's the conversations that matter. If you think about this, 7.7 million people are going to become millionaires in 2023. It's a fact, okay? 7.7 million people are going to become millionaires in 2023. Why can you not create a 4-figure business through this summer months? Why not? If there's going to be 7.7 million that are going to become millionaires, why can you not earn an extra 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 plus a month? Imagine the difference that's going to make to your standard of life right now. Imagine the different choices you're going to have. And remember, you're greater than your circumstances. We all have different things going on, but you're greater than that. You must keep a tight hold of the vision that you have for the life that you want to live, because if you can see that, that can be your reality, but you must look from the goal. So if your ultimate goal is to be a national marketing director, or maybe it's to be earning a certain amount of money so that you can be at home with your kids, you must see yourself in that goal. So you look back, what are you going to be doing when you're a national marketing director? And you show up as that person now. Don't look to your goal like, well, when I'm a national marketing director. No, you're already a national marketing director. You're just waiting for the title to catch up to you. And you can get everything you want so long as you don't give up. The things that we have to do are not difficult. At the end of the day, our products are simple. There has never been a bigger demand for our opportunity. The longevity that we have with this company is second to none. And where it's going, guys, you better buckle up, because the best years, Jeff says this all the time, but the best years are ahead of us. And after spending time with our new CEO, Travis, the vision that he has, but also the background that he's coming from, he understands our industry. It has never been as exciting. Like, I feel like I'm starting all over again, but you must let yourself win. You must let yourself be successful. And I just want to finish off with a story. And it was about this man, and he was a salesman, and he was going door to door, and he was selling books. So he was in America, and he was walking up the streets. And you know, in America, a lot of the houses have patios, and you probably can imagine this with me, but they have like rocking chairs, and people sit outside in the rocking chairs in the lovely summer's evenings. So he was going door to door, and he started to hear the faint sound of a dog crying. And as he got closer and closer, he realized that, oh my God, that dog is really wailing. And he's seen where the dog was. So he walked up to the house where the dog was wailing. And there was a man sitting on the porch. And he said to the man in the porch, your dog's really in terrible pain. What's wrong with him? And the man, without worrying about anything, very coldly just said, yeah, he's sitting on a nail. And the man who was selling the book said, well, why doesn't he get off the nail? And the man just simply replied to the salesman, because he's afraid it'll hurt more. My message to you is, some of you are afraid of the initial pain of change, so you're staying stuck. The situation you're currently in is not where you want to be, but you're not making that leap because you're afraid. What's going to happen? What are people going to say? Am I going to be judged? Is that pain going to be severe? It's like when you have a baby. That last couple of seconds before that baby comes, it's excruciating. But if you never experienced that, guys, you'd never be handed that baby. The pain doesn't last, but it's what you'll achieve at the end of it. That's so worth it. That's why so many people don't reach NMD, because they're not willing to have that pain short term. So James, I'm sorry, I'm 3 minutes over, but thank you so much for having me. I hope people found value and are ready to supercharge their summer.
Oh, thank you so much. That is absolutely superb, Mary. I mean, really, the comments have been, just say it all, really. I mean, people are just so impressed with you. And I'm just so grateful that you've come on the call today. And just very quickly, finally, Chicago, amazing.
Phenomenal.
Pictures. Yeah. I mean, it was absolutely incredible. And I think the thing that I feel that's extraordinary, and you've obviously alluded to this, the company look after us so well, don't they? All the events, all the promotions, all the recognition, it's beyond imagination.
It really is, James. And like really briefly, I want to be respectful of people's time, but anyone who qualified, this is like what to expect. So anyone who qualified for this incentive trip, first and foremost, the company into our bank accounts transferred 2,700 euros or the equivalent in pounds for your flights. So you could fly economy if you wanted, and you would have the rest of the money for spending money. You could fly business. You could even have flown for first class. The money was there. So it was transferred straight to you. We were picked up in, it's like a Hummer, like it's a big American luxury car. So you're picked up in style from the airport. Our driver did a tour for us of Chicago, first and foremost, before he dropped us off at the hotel. The hotel was exceptional. I've never slept in a bed. I have a comfortable bed, but that bed that I slept in Chicago was next level. We had like breakfast every morning. You were the cocktail night. The venue for it was on top of the hotel. It was a rooftop in the hotel. There was a DJ. There was like these ladies dressed up. Popcorn is very famous in Chicago. They were coming around handing you out your popcorn. There was incredible like Instagram worthy photo moments. There was speeches. It was great for networking. There was beautiful food. The trip to the farm, phenomenal. We had the 1920s cocktail night. Like they hired out this whole venue and the bar was exquisite. Like, oh my God, I was just in awe. I was like, I cannot believe I'm in somewhere like this. You were meted by actors as you stepped into the place. Then there was like acrobats. There was a jazz band. Everything was free. Like you couldn't spend money. There was not, you just couldn't spend money. There's nothing you could spend money on. And in this bar where we had the 1920s night, like some of Seamus likes a really good whiskey, and some of the whiskeys could be like $40 a drink. And I said to the barman, I was like, can you have anything that you have behind? And he's like, yeah, it's an open bar. So champagne, anything, the sky was a limit. I'm not a big drinker, so I don't know a lot of different spirits, but I know some of them were really, really, really expensive. And then we had a beautiful trip down the river to see all of the architecture. We stopped off, made a beautiful lunch, and the gala awards night. Oh my God, like there was not a stone left unturned. Even our room key was branded. Like it was just the lifts. So the elevators had branding on them in the hotel. Like it was phenomenal. But one of the greatest things was getting to connect with our global leadership team. There was 100 different partners there. And to hear the stories, for me, it's the stories of the people who've been in the business, like James and like Nicola, like Sue, have been in the business quite a long time and have been able to have this consistent income. I'm not going to make any claims in case anybody from compliance is on, but like a lot of money every single month. That was real vision building for me. Because it's not what you can, like, we've achieved a lot in 10 years, but oh my God, am I excited about what the next 10 years is going to bring. We have the opportunity. Someone said to me, we went out for dinner one night with some of the corporate guys, and we were talking, and he said to me that, Mary, do you know that by you saying yes and really going at this business, not treating it like a hobby, guys, I've never treated this business like a hobby, really working it every single day, you've changed your family's legacy. And it's so true. My kids will never be the same kids that they would have been if I hadn't said yes to this business. My grandkids, my great grandkids, we've drawn a line in the sand that this is the way that you need to live, that there are options, there are great opportunities, but you've got to be willing to say yes.
Mary, epic. Epic. I mean, you know, anyway, I think enough has been said. I mean, we've had an incredible morning. Thank you to Sue and to Natalie and to Charity and to Simon, Erin and yourself. And thank you for all of the other speakers that came on. We know that it's really tough, you know, to come along and speak in front of people, particularly if you're new. But look, well done. And thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Nikki, for coming on. You know, we look forward to incredible things. We look forward to incredible things. We're in the right place at the right time. And the world is our oyster. So have a wonderful weekend, everyone. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you very, very much for joining us. Take care. Bye for now.
Thank you so much, James. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you, James. Thank you, James. Bye.